Good afternoon and happy St Andrew's Day from Scotland. Welcome to today's game, which will see the home team, your Caledonia Gladiators, take on their Welsh opponents, the Cardiff Met Archers. Gladiators come into today's matchup 2-1 off the back of last week's clutch win against Sheffield Hatters. Cardiff are currently chasing that first notch in the win column and will be looking to bring the upset this afternoon. I'm Rona Lightbody and I am absolutely delighted to have Caledonia Gladiators legend and Scottish basketball stalwart Erin McGarrican alongside me today. Erin, welcome.
Hi Rona, afternoon everyone.
How does it feel being on this side of the microphone today?
It's a bit unusual, a wee bit surreal, but I must say it's a great view from up here.
It most certainly is, and we didn't mess around getting you put to work, and earlier you caught up with both coaches, so let's hear what they had to say.
Hi there, I'm with Steph Collins, head coach of the Cardiff Archers today. Steph, just want to get an idea of how you're feeling before today's game.
Yeah, we're feeling really excited. Obviously, Caledonia, a really good team, really going to showcase kind of their talent and their physicality. So we've been preparing all week for this game, so hopefully we'll have a good turnout.
Excellent. I noticed when I was having a look at your rosters, quite a lot of new faces and young faces at that. How's your team been doing, and are you excited to build something new down at Cardiff?
Yeah, I think it's been an exciting start to pre-season. Obviously, we started back in September. Lots of new faces. I think only probably about 3 or 4 returners in that mix. So to have some fresh faces in, provide a new kind of energy. We're still finding our feet, like anything. It's going to take a couple games, and as we head into the new year, I think every game that we get to play is another opportunity for us to keep getting better.
Definitely. Okay, well, best of luck for today and for the rest of the season.
Cheers.
Hi there, I'm with Max, assistant coach of Caledonia Gladiators now. Max, how are you feeling about today's game?
Yeah, we've had a good week of practice. I think coming off of Sheffield, we're just ready to go.
Excellent. You mentioned Sheffield there. That was an awesome game, an awesome comeback last week. Are you guys intending on building on that performance last week?
Yeah, exactly. I think we didn't perform the way we wanted to against Sheffield the first time, so I think even we had moments last game where we got it away from us, but we really fought back in that second half, and I think building on that moving forward now.
Yeah, definitely. You showed some true character, and 2 big games coming up as well, so I guess we'll have that in mind today to be working towards that.
Yeah, exactly. We're at Cardiff, then we have Essex next week with the trophy semi, so just keep building game to game now.
Excellent. Okay, well, best of luck for today.
Interesting insights there from head coach Steph Collins of the Cardiff Met Archers and also assistant coach there, Max Hurst from the Caledonia Gladiators. Where do you see sort of the key matchups or key players for both teams being across the court?
I think it'll be a really interesting inside game today. You've got Masovic for the Caledonia Gladiators and is it Sharf for Cardiff Met Archers. You look at them on the court just now, they're similar physique, similar sized bodies. And I think that's going to be a key matchup today, just to see how they battle against each other inside.
Most definitely, and you had that interesting point when we were chatting pre-game about, Masovic last week maybe didn't see as much of her in that Sheffield win, but Gladiators maybe going more with the small ball to match that sort of presence of Sheffield.
I guess you need to play the game that's in front of you, and Coach Chantel went with small ball down the stretch last game. In this game, though, I see Masovic getting more minutes, maybe getting the chance to find her feet and dominate inside. Again, back to that matchup, it will be interesting to see how that plays out as the game unfolds.
And Cardiff last season, we saw they finished 9th. They just finished outside that playoffs, but they were a team that really grew into the season, and maybe that's what we're seeing that's happened quite quickly already. In the trophy, things didn't really go their way, but we saw them go from a 54-point loss to a 23-point loss against the Riders. As a team, do you build confidence from that, even though it was not a positive outcome in terms of winning the game?
Yeah, definitely, and I think that's something that Steph Collins is really good at building momentum in her team. You look at her team today and it's a really young team. You have a lot of rookies, and Cardiff generally go from maybe having a rough start in the beginning of the season, but they always build, their heads never go down, they keep working, and they end up finishing somewhere kind of mid-table, so they're not a team to take lightly. One thing you can rest assured on is that they're going to come and give it their best, and they won't give up, so you definitely better bring your A game, pay attention the whole game.
And I think that's the thing that's so good about basketball. You can never discount a team. I mean, we touched on that GB men's game during the week, and it doesn't matter if you're up with 8-9 seconds to go, anything literally can happen. Also down at Cardiff's end, we've got number 21 out there, Louise Fisher, product of a Scottish club, Air Storm up here, so kind of returning home, but not for her in a way. You know, we saw her down at Loughborough Riders and at MBL 1. Just how important is somewhere like the Gladiators for young Scottish players coming through, but also just having a professional setup in the UK as a whole for players to go out and play, because I know that wasn't something that was there when you were growing up.
Yeah, no, it's excellent to see that, you know, some Scottish talent playing, you know, all over the UK, and for her to be able to come back up to Scotland and showcase that she's got a spot on a professional team, it's excellent, and it's just an excellent opportunity for young people to have. Like you mentioned, we didn't have that when I was coming up through the ranks, so for young people to be able to do that is brilliant.
It is indeed, and just to run through both team lists for today, so for the travelling Cardiff, we have at number 2 Jasmine Graham, number 4 Sheridan Flogger, 5 your captain for today Emma Bailey, Welsh player there. Now at number 6 Sitota Hineth, at 8 we've got Celine Lemon, at 12 Lily Parkin, 18 Anita Kadire, 20 Ella O'Sullivan, 21 we've just talked about Louise Fisher, and 27 who Erin's picked out as someone to watch today, Amelia Scharf. And then taking you over to the Caledonia Gladiators, 3 Bryn Masowicz, 4 Robin Lewis, 6 Emma Kerr, 7 Mathilde Dominger, 9 Hannah Robb, 10 Maura Fitzpatrick, 12 Annie Warren, captain 15 Tierra Hodges, 19 Ella Doherty, 26 Alex McIntosh, 27 Kerry McGee, and 33 Kiva Stupart. Just ran through there, Emma Kerr and Kerry McGee obviously returning from injury. Hopefully see them on the floor today.
Yeah, hopefully. Didn't get a chance to speak with Chantel and go in depth about her game plan, but you would think this would be a good chance for young players to get some minutes under their belt and hopefully build their confidence in this game.
And starters, as we could maybe have predicted for your Archers, will be 4 Flogger, 5 Bailey, 6 Hineth, 8 Lemon and 7 Scharf, and there's that Masowicz match-up already. There's a bit of a tongue twister for a Sunday afternoon.
It is indeed.
4 Robin Lewis, 10 Fitzpatrick, 12 Warren and 15 Hodges. Lewis coming back into that lineup, Dominger coming off the bench. We saw her explode last week for 24 against Sheffield, so maybe a role she's quite comfortable in.
Yeah, definitely. It's always interesting, especially at the beginning of the season, when everyone's roles start to kind of show their own like colours. Mathilde's a fantastic player, and Coach Handy might just have thought we get a bit more out of her when she's coming off the bench, gives her a chance to settle her nerves and be a bit of a punch coming off the bench. So it's worked for the Gladiators, so Chantel Handy's continuing with that approach.
Your crew chief for today we can see out on the floor will be Cameron Godsall, with the umpires Nick Nassy and Alan Charakanuthu. Good crowd in here this afternoon.
Definitely, the atmosphere feels good. You can feel the excitement bubbling, so let's get the game underway.
A little nod, new strips out there. Are we going yay or are we going nay?
I'm not sure. They are different. They are different.
And Gladiators will start with the first possession of the game through Fitzpatrick. Warren, she gets inside so well, doesn't she? Masowicz, nice board.
Yeah, that's one of Warren's talents, has been able to stop on a dime and put up that mid-range jump shot. Unfortunately wasn't successful there, but she's normally about 99% accurate.
Can we quote you on that? Cardiff now with the ball over the half. Ball moving well. Back with Inez. Nice little this way, that way from her, but again off the rim. But Robin Lewis going downhill with speed, kicks it out to Fitzpatrick. Makes no mistake, nice little left-hand finish there.
It's always good to get that first layup to drop.
I always feel like there's cling film over the net, and then you just need to get that first one through to make sure you've opened the hoop up.
Definitely.
Cardiff will look to respond off this one. Little floater, good there for Flogger.
It's a nice rejection of the screen.
Again, another dish out there from Lewis. Warren makes no mistake, connects on that 3. Cardiff though wasting no time getting that ball in and down the other end as they pull up again. And it's good for 2 for Scharf.
Oh, double team. And
does exactly what it had to do.
Yep.
Nice identification there, wasn't it, from the Cardiff players? We know Warren with the ball in her hand can be so crafty, but caught her off guard, get the turnover.
Yeah, definitely, and that, I mean, that's what that defence is all about, and yeah, they nailed it there.
Limon looking to go up against Masowicz, keeps the ball alive, nice footwork. Just hits the front of the rim. Warren again down this right hand side of the floor. It's going to be the pick probably from Masowicz. Hines sort of dipping underneath, giving the space for the pull up. Yep. And she connects. Is that something Cardiff maybe are going to have to work harder to get over the top?
Yeah, definitely, especially on Annie Warren. I mean, she had time and space there to see exactly where the defender was going and punish them for going under that screen.
Lovely work by Scharf. Unable to connect, but really nice identification, just diving back door and finding the lane. Ball being swung to the opposite side.
Tierra inside, she's so good down there. Yep, finishes.
Someone who uses her body really well, doesn't she, in the
Definitely,
post?
you would probably say she's a bit undersized for her position, but she uses her body so well, especially against bigger matchups.
Nice pick there. Really opened that lane.
Gladiators doing well to push the ball in transition, and Warren picks up the foul.
Foul there, it's going to go up against... Ooh, I thought it was going up against Bailey, but I think it's gone up against Lemon. And Warren, you know that she's got that hot hand, so as a defender you're like, okay, I don't want to leave her open, so you maybe step up on her, but then she's got that foot speed, doesn't she, to get past you. So Cardiff, they're looking to bring in a cross-help defence, which is probably what's happened there.
Yeah, I mean, it's always tough in transition as well. It's a bit of a scramble, and I think, the second help was just a bit late getting over, but like you said, Annie's got a lot in her bag, so it's going to take a really tough defender to kind of stop her.
Robin Domingue checking in as well for the Gladiators. Some quick subs there. Gladiators extend that lead to 6. Nice little dish under the hoop. Lemon just gathers it off 2 feet. Finding lots of space sort of around the bucket there, aren't they, at the moment? Cardiff really getting into that sort of charge circle space.
Yeah, I would say that's always been one of Cardiff's strengths, is to play off the ball and create space. That was nice 3 from Hannah in the corner there, hot off the bench.
And that's where she can be so dangerous, and that's sort of what we know about her game, isn't it? That's where that 3x3 can suit her, isn't it? Her ability to knock down the shot.
Yep, definitely.
Cardiff look to respond, but they do come up with the O boards. Nice find inside to Scharf, but going to go jump ball, which will stay with Cardiff there. Nice little passage of play.
Yeah.
And you can see Hineth is looking to attack the hoop, isn't she? She's looking to take her shot when it comes. She's someone that's not going to give up.
No, she's got her eye on the basket.
As she goes again. Fitzpatrick coming up.
Maybe a little.
Ooh, and way to stay with the play. That's something, you really like to see, and I'm sure Coach Handy down there is looking for that from our players. You'll know more than anyone.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you play to the whistle. Yeah, don't give up on the play.
And I think sometimes that is what annoys coaches more, isn't it? If you turn the ball over, fine, but if you don't work to get back,
yeah,
that's a bigger problem.
Definitely, that's you making a second mistake. Here goes Ari from the 3 again,
and you just feel like she's going to be a problem out there today, and that's probably where head coach Steph Collins is going to look to call the timeout, as Gladiators are pushing and extending that lead out now to 10. But basketball, long game. I assume you agree there's no need to panic at the moment, no?
No need to panic. Yeah, Coach Steph is probably just trying to settle her players' nerves. She's maybe identified a few areas where they could improve, so give the girls a chance to catch their breath and clean up on those areas. Caledonia, on the other hand, had a great start. They've had a few early subs, and momentum seems good, taking their chances, and so far they're converting, so they'll be looking to build on this lead here coming out of this time out.
I really like how you're able to simplify that down there. I'm sure people at home are like, okay, that makes so much easy clinical sense that's all happens. But you know in both timeouts down there, probably a little bit more being said.
Yeah. You know, we can go either one of two ways. The coach stays calm or the coach goes crazy. As a player, you just need to take the instruction from what they're saying and then try and do that on the court and get back out there.
And I think sometimes the calm of the storm can sometimes be more intimidating, can't it? At least if someone shouts at you, coach is shouting a timeout, you know, fine, they're annoyed. But when they're calm, you're like, oh.
Yeah, definitely. It's like when your mum and dad don't shout, you just
are disappointed.
Yes. Yeah.
Being disappointed is far worse than the angry, isn't it?
Exactly.
But anyway, we are 5 minutes and 46 left of this quarter. Caledonia out to a 16-6 lead. Cardiff just had a timeout. I think we'll look to see a little bit more intensity on that defensive end and working on how they're coming off those screens.
Yeah, definitely, and maybe in transition as well, shutting down Caledonia on the break. They've done quite well to push the ball up the court pretty fast and have early scores in the possession. Caledonia picking up full court here, a signature of their defence, looking to put pressure on early.
Doherty as well, checking in for the Gladiators is sharp, looking to get something going for herself. Nice little dish out there to Lemon. Attacking against Doherty. And again, nice look. Just unfortunate not to draw.
Fortunate in the finish.
Hodges again using that body position. Nice curl there by Rob. Lovely dish inside to Hodges and does get the friendly roll there.
Lovely triangle. That was good identification by Hannah there just to make that triangle and set up the pass for Tierra.
Flogger under a lot of pressure to get across, but does well, gets herself the bucket and will get the call. That'll go against Domingue, and Flogger will earn herself a trip to line.
Yeah, well deserved, I would say.
Going into today, a 50% free throw shooter, but I find stats this early in the season when you're just pulling them off the championship can be a little bit skewed.
Yeah, numbers are pretty low, so I would give her the benefit of the doubt that. Yeah. Which makes the first.
Flogger, like you mentioned, one of the rookie pros out there, University of Wisconsin Parkside. So a while from home.
Yeah, no half.
Thanksgiving earlier in the week as well. McGee with the looking to dish to Doherty.
Again, the Gladiators looking to push the ball early. Cardiff got their fingers on it that time.
And Collins will be happy with that, won't she?
Yeah, definitely.
Hodges says, I'm going to take that to the hoop. No call, but Rob with the follow-up on the O board. Nice dish to Domingue.
Unlucky. And
Sharf, nice on those boards. Hodges keeping the pressure on. Sharf just been unfortunate to step out court. Sometimes you find you're just like, if there's just another inch,
yeah.
I could have got my foot down, but I guess the court's the size it is for the reason it is.
That's it.
Cardiff as well, ringing in some changes. Rob doing well to get open. Maybe just saw Kerr there, didn't you? McGee flashing, but Cardiff coming up. Nice find inside to Sharf, did well for the body. Good dish back out there. 3-ball no good, but Sharf using herself in size.
Really good on the boards there, just unlucky with the finish.
Domingue taking the contact. Gladiators looking to get something moving.
Ella looking to use her size advantage on the block. Unlucky on the first, but gets her own rebound.
Domingue attacking the space. Nice dime. And it's a wrong three.
Nice sharing of the ball there by the Gladiators.
Patient play as well.
Definitely.
Downhill, under a lot of pressure there from Rob.
Yeah.
Does get the shot away, but you just think maybe a stop, turn, dish it back out to a teammate in that situation.
Yeah, Hannah was all over her there.
Nice work by Hodges on the inside. Sharp, even better defence though, forcing that turnover as Hodge just maybe too deep under the basket there and trying to get the bounce.
Yeah, Cardiff will be happy with that.
McGee pressuring Hineth. Oh. Nice dish to Lemon. But again, maybe just a little bit too fast.
Yep.
And slightly out of control. Doherty pulls up now from that 3-ball spot, and Gladiators having a lot of success. Is that the fourth?
Yeah, that's a lucky corner, I think, today.
Now that you've said that, I hope you've not done the commentary curse.
Yeah.
Gladiators stretching this lead out 24-8. Hineth stops and pops, and she gets it to go. And Cardiff are finding ways to respond. Nice stand there by Bailey. Doherty working hard on those screens.
Nice cut by
Domenge, she is so crafty under the hoop, isn't she? She can finish right and left.
The nice thing there, she took her time to think about where's the defender, where's the space.
Doherty crashes down the middle, little left handling. Takes her up to 5 points. Someone who we've not really seen get scoring so far this season. So how
and then
does that
uses her length on the baseline to get the ball back.
She
Excellent.
does.
Yeah, it's great to see Ella getting some successful minutes on the court. Really coming into her own there.
Did you cross over at Pride or?
No, I think Ella's too young for me. I'm showing my age here.
Didn't know if she'd maybe just been there to go away as you came back.
I think we might have missed each other by a year or two.
My research would have told me that was correct, but I just wanted to, double check live. So not a former teammate, but good showing by her out there today, and that helps build confidence as a player, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Ball with Lewis. Being matched up there by Kadiri. Rob,
thought about it. And nice cheeky pass to
Oh,
Masovic underneath, and she finishes with the layup.
Nice little and one there. But again, good team basketball from the Gladiators.
Yeah, it really was, and it's nice to see the girls building those connections with each other.
Gladiators currently 10 assists. Cardiff with none at the moment, showing that they're having to create for themselves.
Yep. And I think that's something the Gladiators pride themselves on as well as defence, so making that really tough for Cardiff today.
I like that you say I think after 3 seasons. Pretty sure you've been told firmly and fairly in practice many a time if defence wasn't there.
Yeah, defence is always a top priority.
I suppose there only is 2 ends of the court in basketball, right? Yeah. So they both got to be a priority out there. Rob taking a well-earned rest. Nice shift from her out there. Lewis as well, as Kerr checks in and Warren checks back into the game too. .21 points the advantage with 2 minutes and 11 left to go in this opening quarter. Just sorting out the shot clock up there, making sure it's at 15. They think they can't find the ball, but it's in Hineth's hands.
Yeah.
Could see the referee signalling. Here's the ball. Quite an important part of basketball as well.
You would think. Oh, looked like she almost passed it to herself there.
It's the one where your brain said yes, but your hands have said no.
Yep. Nice drive by, unlucky off the glass.
Ball with Kerr. Player we mentioned earlier returning from injury, so again, important to get players minutes as they return from injury as Warren pulls up and nails that 3 ball. Warren is feeling it this first quarter today.
Yep.
Kadiri, nice stand by Masovic.
Steal by Warren this time, back down the other end of the floor. And here goes Kerr. Call for the travel.
That was a 3-3 sort of situation there. In that situation, do you think you are looking to attack and go downhill, find the dish, or are you looking to just maybe set something out?
I would say this tempo of the game where we're trying to get the ball up the floor, it's, you know, drive and then see what becomes of it. You can always bring it back out. You've got plenty of time on the clock.
As the foul's going to come up there against Lewis on that defensive end, that will give Cardiff and sideline out of bounds as we look at to Sharp and Bailey checking back in. Ball was with the captain, out to Flogger. Comes up against some Gladiators defence. Sharp playing from outside that 3-point line.
Oh, almost the back door there.
Just twisting and turning, a lot of pressure.
And run out of time. Just getting suffocated on the ball there. Needs to move it a wee bit faster.
And that's the thing we talk about a lot, isn't it? Is the ball needs to do the work a lot of the time. You know, having nice handles, that's all very good, but if the ball's not swinging from side to side on the court, the defence isn't having to move.
Yeah, that's it. You've got to make the defence work.
As Gladiators do reverse the ball from that left to the right hand side of the court. Masowicz, Fisher doing a good job getting in front there. Nothing easy, but Fitzpatrick from the elbow.
Cardiff in transition.
Flogger, there it is there, it's stuck on the inside, but nice little diamond inside. Kadiri finishing with the right. Oh, and Warren just, I think, looking to dish the ball in there to Masowicz, but potentially one of those situations, a slightly higher floatier pass, although I know that's something coaches don't like to see, but there are certain situations it's acceptable.
There's moments when it works, and there's moments when it doesn't, and it's always one the coaches you're always going to get reamed for it when it doesn't work.
It's always the old classic of as Flogger puts up the 3-ball, gets it to go. I was going to say it's always a classic, you know, of an old board if you go back up with it and someone says reset and you're like, please let this go in.
Yep.
Or I'm getting pulled. Fitzpatrick again, nice work.
Good finish.
But really nice identification there from sort of that interior player position from Masowicz into Fitzpatrick, who's obviously playing at that 4 spot.
That's what I'm enjoying watching from the Gladiators today, is that they're really looking for each other on the court, and they're finding nice passes and then taking their time to convert.
So as the quarter comes to a close there, we have Caledonia 36 and the travelling Archers on 15. Archers though, they've had good looks. They're maybe just not dropping at this point in time.
Yeah, I would say so. They've done well to get to the rim. It's maybe just having that concentration at the last moment to sink the ball. You've seen in that last play there, they had a lovely back door. I think if they could find more of those connections, they could bridge that gap a little bit.
And also coming into today's game, field goal percentage wise, Gladiators are the best at the moment in the league with just over 45%, whereas they are coming up against Cardiff at just under 37%, who are sitting 9th. So maybe that was something we're going to see today. So to Cardiff, what do they need to do to try and sort that? Is that a thing in the training ground, or is that maybe look to put up more shots to increase that, even if you've got a lower percentage? You're the accountant here, aren't you? What's the numbers game like there?
Well, the more shots you put up, the more chance you've got of more going in. For Cardiff, I think if they can move the ball a little bit faster, get the defence shifting, they're going to create easier shots for themselves. Trying to move away from the one-on-one isolated basketball, if they can get more of their teammates involved. A tough ask again, because I know from personal experience, Gladiator defence is tough. Our mantra is to suffocate the ball, be all over the ball, and for the help side to be unrelenting. So
have you just given away the secret sauce trade secrets there, Meganica?
I think we try and put that out there for everybody to know.
You would like to hope that was on everyone's scout.
Yeah. So it's a tough ask for Cardiff, but let's see what they can do in this next quarter.
Quite like that. I feel like it's quite a nice strapline what you just came up with.
Don't ask me to repeat it, because I forgot it already.
Marketing genius, accountant by day, retired basketballer by night. So anyway, both teams coming back out. The ball is going to start again with the Gladiators. Cardiff managed to put up 15 there. Do they look to try and improve that, or are they looking more to bring down the Gladiators 36?
Probably somewhere in the middle. They need to try and Gladiators have a lot of scorers on the floor, and they need to try and curb the scoring, but also they obviously need to score themselves as well. So I think Steph Collins has probably got a bit of both in our team talk there.
4 on the shot clock. Ball with Hodges. Nice identification of the time there. Kadiri does come up with it. Flogger's going to look to get something going. Coming down the left, we've seen him more where as she goes back to that right hand side where they do seem more comfortable. Ball with Fisher. Schaffer. Weighing up options. Nice cross court dish there to Flogger, who nails another one.
Nice 3 in the corner.
I think they listen to you. Moving the ball, minimal dribbles, find the open person, nailed the shot. Cardiff taking the first points of this quarter.
See Gladiators getting a bit static there.
Warren now to answer for 3. But Domingé coming up with the board. Hodges using her body. Schaffer up and down. Ball back with Flogger. Hodges picking up on Scharf. Fisher looking to go to work on her Scottish counterpart. No good there. Gladiators with the ball. Dish over the top to Rob.
Didn't like the look of it, so brings it back out.
Nice decision there.
Yeah, I think so. Plenty of time on the clock.
Warren looking to see where's some space. Doherty just above the free
lovely.
throw line. Nice little lefty finish there.
Yeah, she saw the space at the top of the key and turned and shot. Made it look really easy.
Scharf looking to ball handle there, but sees Hodges come up with it. Nice little, I thought I was talking that out of existence.
Yeah.
Flogger under pressure there from Domingé, doing well, gets it across the half. Down this left, going to cross it back mostly to the right. And again, just a little bit careless there with the ball. Scharf not quite ready to receive that.
That's it, just a bit careless, and Gladiators capitalise on that. Oela thinks about it, puts it up. Unlucky that time. Tara comes up with the rebound. So Gladiators will have another goal.
6 on the shot clock. Doherty again from same spot and makes no mistake on that one. And she's really come alive today in offence, hasn't she?
Definitely. I mean, just watching her body language when she gets the ball, the first thing she's doing is looking at the rim, and that's what you want to see from a player. You want them to be a threat out there, and you can see the impact that she's had today. So I really hope that she continues building on this.
A player coming in today, you know, who wasn't necessarily averaging any points and half an assist. She's already out there with 7 points, 2 rebounds. She's going to be looking to build on that. It's obviously Gladiators, their next game is going to be in the trophy against Essex Rebels.
Yeah, definitely, and up against a team like Essex, you need a deep bench, you need to keep firing on new weapons. So for players like Ella, it's brilliant that she's having a good game today. She's building her confidence, and she can take that into the upcoming games going forward. Sometimes it's all you need is like one game, even not even the whole game, just a wee spell in the game, like to get you going, get that feel for the basket again, remind yourself, yeah, this is what I can do and I'm going to do it.
Flogger for the visitors, leading with 10 points. We have seen she's had a lot of nice time and space sometimes outside the arc. Do you think that's got to be slightly more in her pocket now? She's proven she can score from behind the arc, so do you think Gladiators are going to have to step up a little bit harder on her?
Yeah, definitely. They'll identify her as one of the key players and kind of put more pressure on her, get in the lanes, maybe try and limit her touches and make it as difficult as possible for Cardiff out there, but definitely keeping the ball out of her hands will be one of the key points.
And just in case anybody forgot, it was St Andrew's Day today, the bagpipes ring out round the stadium.
They do indeed.
Bagpipes.
A common theme at the Caledonia Gladiators arena.
I find they can be so emotive though as a Scottish person. Can go one of 2 ways. Flogger cleverly just letting that go out. If, you know, the ball had gone out, just reset it. 17 though on the clock, so they're going to have to look to try and fire it somehow quickly across the half, or a quick couple of dribbles.
Yep, the Gladiators will be trying to keep this in the front half, force a turnover here. Oh, and they throw it right over, so into Gladiators' hands, so it worked perfectly for Gladiators.
Warren's there, dishes out to Hodges. Lane opens up it. What
that's
a
big
block
by
It's a really nice block there. And there's Flogger, we just talked about. Apologies, using our experience to snatch that ball there from Fisher. Domingé looking to go downhill all the way, goes for the dish.
Draws the foul.
But again, looking, knew Doherty was on the left there, so has nailed a couple, so smart to put it out, especially when there's two up there against you.
Yeah, I think, again, Gladiators are doing well today to read what's on the floor in front of them, read the defence well, and they're making the right decisions.
At the moment, slightly slower starting to the quarter, just 7 for Gladiators, 3 for Archers. Do you think that's quite common though in basketball games, these sorts of runs and it's peaks and troughs in terms of intensity and speed?
Yeah, definitely. It's always a roller coaster. You come out the gates firing, then there's a bit of a lull, or vice versa. Into the second quarter here, and you're seeing different combinations of fives on the floor. Both teams rotating the subs. So again, as a player, you're just getting used to, or trying to get a feel for what's out there and who you're playing with.
Lemon, nice work to draw the foul there. You were catching up with her pre-game?
Yeah, familiar face. We both played in the league for a number of years, and it's not someone that I maybe would have talked to as a player, but you know, now that I've retired, it was good to catch up with her.
No friends on the basketball court.
No, not before the games anyway.
No. But I guess that's something that's nice of retirement. You do get to speak to other people that you've not got that same sort of, I need to go out, I know I've done your scout, and I don't want you dropping 15 on me, as Sharf herself gets the ball to drop.
Yeah, Sharf's doing well to keep working in there.
Here's that high floaty pass that does find its way to Doherty. Masowicz comes down. And Sharf did such nice work there to get herself in the lane, make Masowicz think about it, and then unfortunately just causing the foul, which will send Masowicz to the line. I thought she'd done so many good things there in the defensive end.
I would agree, she made Masowicz totally change the arc of her shot, making her miss. Unfortunately, the referees saw a foul.
Masowicz going into the day is a 78% shooter from the free throw line. Played her time at college at UCLA and DePaul. Might have heard of some of them.
Yep.
Kenneth under pressure from Rob. Nice bit of pace to her though, getting the ball up the court. Nearly got stuck in her own pocket there.
She almost did, yeah. Anna doing well to keep the pressure on and comes up with the ball.
But Le Mans letting nothing easy go for these Gladiators. And again, I just love that, staying with the play.
Yep.
And it does result in the ball staying with Cardiff.
Yes, that's what Cardiff are renowned for, these effort plays. Again, they never give up.
Probably some of the most important people, isn't it? The floor moppers. Like, genuinely.
Really? Yes.
People always go, oh, what? But I'm like, literally, if the floor is not playable, it's not going ahead, so it doesn't matter how good the players, the referees, the setup, the commentary team are.
Total unsung heroes, honestly. Nothing worse than having a slippy court.
And the pressure as well. I've done it a couple of times. You're like, I hope that's not.
Yeah, have I missed a bit?
It's unslippy enough now. Nobody sweat in this spot. Kenneth looking at to get it started. And bounded to Sharf. Kind of feel we've got a little two-man waiting going at times. Flogger. McGee does well to close out.
Step back. Ooh, that looked nice in there.
It looked true from here.
Yep.
And I guess that's why we're not the referees from this angle. Doherty and Domingé going to check out as Lewis and Fitzpatrick check in. And you mentioned that earlier about having a deep roster at the Gladiators, and when you look at being able to bring in Domingé and Fitzpatrick when you're 27 up, that's a real positive, isn't it, for any team?
Yeah, definitely. Just I suppose from a coaching perspective, to know that you have different tools on your bench and you have confidence in everyone on your bench, really gives you a depth of. Oh, it's an interesting call there as Masowicz swung through. Is the foul going to go? Foul's going on the defense.
Le Mans, I think they're just saying she maybe wasn't. She moved as Masowicz moved.
Yep.
Would be my take on that. Le Mans going to check out. That does push her onto three, which is unfortunate. We saw the previous play down at the offensive end, making sure she didn't give up anything easy. is a little bit undersized against Masowicz there, and it's just been caught unlucky.
Yeah, definitely. Just Masowicz gets the ball on the block. Hannah swings round, open. Gets the shot up unlucky this time, but they do come back up with the ball.
Again.
And Fitzpatrick with such a quick release, and she sinks that
It's the spot.
Yep,
It's the spot.
sweet spot today.
And all boards are really helping Gladiators to that end, aren't they? Being able to get that second and third chance. Nice dive inside though by Fisher, who finds herself wide open. Nice finish and nice identification there from the Archers.
Yeah, definitely good connection. Cardiff are having a lot of success with that back door. It will definitely be on Chantel's radar for half time to the Gladiators to tighten up on.
Big high ball in there to Masowicz, but Fisher not making anything easy, and gets the travel called on Masowicz. Just that little bump, let the post player know you're there.
Yeah, definitely, and it could be enough to, like it was there, to knock her off balance, and she's got the travel call, so good effort there.
So 4.5 minutes, Gladiators leading 49-22 as Flogger brings the ball over the half for the Archers, and there's that nice high pick they like to set. Flogger looks to pull up three, but again finds Fisher inside. It was unfortunate. But Gladiators making sure nothing easy under the hoop. Fitzpatrick dishes it to Masowicz.
Masowicz on the trail, no good. Cardiff are off on the break. Oh, she finds
And Fisher
long in the full court.
And that's where basketball's such a fast-paced game. Who should have been back there? Was it a case of Fisher hadn't quite got down the floor? Or Gladiators need to be a little bit sharper out the blocks there?
Yep.
Height in there. Fitzpatrick with two on her. And draws the foul. And you can really see they're trying to go for that sort of inside game in there, aren't they? So sort of that free throw, just above the free throw into the post. And Fisher picking up the foul there, is undersized and has been doing a good job.
Yeah, they have kind of been doing a good job down there. Knocked the Gladiators off balance. You can see, like you said, Gladiators are making a point of looking for each other on the block. They've had a lot of success from there, and they're continuing to do it. Fitzpatrick unlucky on the first.
Fitzpatrick as well, someone who goes about her business quite quietly. You know, 6 and 5 against the Hatters, but also instrumental.
Definitely, I think she's been a key player for Gladiators this year. You know, she's a little similar to myself. She's in between being a big player and a guard, but she has such a quick release on the three-point line. She's really dangerous out there, but she complements that nicely with being able to work inside and also.
Oh, lovely find there by Kerr.
She's on the break, unlucky at the layup.
For Fitzpatrick not to nail it, but Kerr's going to take it herself this time. Rims out, but it does. It's going to stay.
The ball almost there.
Held the pause there. I was going to say it does stay with Gladiators, and it does, because it's a jump ball's been called, and it is this time with the Gladiators. Kerr herself, who suited up for the Caledonia Blues against Silence Best Fury on Friday night and went off from three-point line, so I imagine bringing that confidence into today's game. Nice little baseline out of bounds. Finds itself to Kerr with 10 on this shot. Cardiff doing well against the post in there, but Fitzpatrick pulls up from the free throw line and gets that one to go. Scharf making sure that they keep the tempo. Gets it back out to Hineth. She's got Warren on her, but is looking to lose her. She does round the screen. Nice little find to Kadiri. And Cardiff having some really nice team basketball. That's really when they look at their best, isn't it?
Definitely moving the ball, finding each other on the back door.
Moves them up to 6 assists after having none in those opening minutes. Hodges with it all to do, does, and pulls the and one from it.
Again, she's just so efficient under there, uses her size well and gets the ball up off the glass. So successful under the basket.
A Newcastle Eagles player last season, and just so damaging against anyone she plays against, and she's carrying that on in her new team, isn't she?
Yeah, she's a tough competitor and an asset, I think, on any team.
And taking your captaincy post-retiral.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, honestly. Think she's a good
Do you feel like it's
candidate
gone
for
to
it.
good hands?
Yes.
Do you feel like a response, you know, when you've had a role like that, you're like, okay, who's taking it?
Yeah,
So-
yeah. Well, I was interested to see who the mantle was going to get passed to, but I think Chantel's made a good choice there in Tierra.
Nice dish out to Fisher, who does pull up for
Corner.
3.
Oh, and Annie fights for the board, comes up with it. Oh, maybe a foul. Yep, foul called there.
And that will see the Gladiators go to the line, because Cardiff are now in the full trouble with 5 fouls up against the team on team fouls. Just the second though there for Hineth. Scharf also checking out, just over 2 minutes to go, so probably see Gladiators looking to try and put the ball inside a little bit more, although Scharf, although so capable in the paint, has also shown her abilities outside the 3-point line, hasn't she?
Yeah, I think with Cardiff struggling to score a little bit, Scharf's had to kind of step up and try and find different ways to score, and she's kind of shown that ability today from inside and outside.
Subs coming in off that made free throw. And Parkin checked in for the Archers for her first minutes of the game. Shot clock's just not started again. Still at 24. And I know sometimes the clock moves slowly when you're in defence, but I don't think it was moving that slowly.
No, not at all. It's really frustrating actually when this happens with the shot clock. Just getting into your defence, concentration, then you're stopped again. Oh, we have Kiva coming onto the floor here for the Gladiators.
We do indeed. Kiva Stupart coming through that Blues programme from the east coast of Scotland, checking in for her first minutes. I know she's been in pro practice for a while, so exciting to see her out there. Another young Scottish talent.
Oh, nice cut down the middle.
Fisher.
Oh, unlucky under the basket there, but gets her own rebound.
And Fisher playing fearless out there, isn't she?
Yeah, definitely. She's giving it her all. She's getting herself open, giving her teammates good looks. Just unsuccessful under the basket.
Domenge goes hard, left hand, doesn't get the friendly roll, but will get herself to the line. And when you check in, you know, we see young players coming in around the league, and obviously highlighting Stupart here. How does it feel?
It's excellent, you know, when I just think about back when I was a young kid, if I had that opportunity, how excited, how cool I would have thought it was.
Do you go in with nerves, or are you like, okay, I'm here, I know I can do my job?
I think there's a little bit of nerves, but at the same time you take confidence in all the practice that you've done. I mean, Kiva's been training with the pro team for a wee while now, and she's been on the bench for a couple of games, so she'll take a confidence in that. She'll be watching the older players, how they conduct themselves, how they prepare for a game. And then in-game moments, you learn a lot just being on the bench. Really happy for her that she's hit the floor today. And
like her dad's tuning in from down south today, so
definitely,
sure
he'll be
proud
watching.
somewhere. Nice balance as well with the leadership of Fitzpatrick, Domenge and Hodges, and then backed up by her Blues teammate and Kerr. So handy putting her in a nice situation there. Cardiff under a lot of pressure, ball kind of stuck on that right hand side, but nice find inside to Parkin, who opens her account for the day. And Cardiff getting some real nice looks on that right hand side under the basket.
Yeah, they really are.
Domenge with the ball, dishes out to
Kiva
Stupart.
on the corner. Oh,
And
just
it
rims in
rims
and out.
Imagine first touch on offense for your first SLBW game and you nailed the 3.
Yeah.
But really nice look from her and good confidence shooting there.
Definitely,
with
and that's what
flogger.
the coach would have told her, you know, take your chances when you get them, don't hesitate to let the ball fly, and that's exactly what she did, so I'm sure Chantel will be very happy with her. A little bit of a...
Fisher and Domenge just getting tied up there, aren't they?
Yeah.
They kind of took the ball, the two of them, from underneath the hoop, and
Yeah, just
in
one
the sort
of
of
those ones
fighting.
that's like spaghetti knots, I think,
it's a good way of putting it.
Domenge seemed to take a wee minute to catch her breath.
Yeah. I think
Hopefully
it's...
nothing too serious.
And you also, I think sometimes when you take a big knock, you're like, okay, have I got my teeth? Have I got my knees still attached? Does everything feel like it is where it should be? And I always feel once I've gone through that sort of little checklist, and I'm like, okay, where's the pain at?
Yeah.
You know, and you have this like little self-assessment of yourself, don't you, out there?
Definitely, just take that moment to catch your breath, like you said, collect yourself. Have I still got all my limbs? Have I still got my teeth? Is my mouth guard in, or is it
How
halfway down the
much
court?
did the crowd go, ooh, that's when you know. You're like, oh no, that sounded quite a lot, but I think I feel okay.
Yeah.
But hopefully, obviously, she is okay out there. Both coaches just bringing their teams in to have a quick chat. 42 seconds left. It's going to be a Gladiators ball from the sideline. What do you think Collins is looking for at this defensive set?
I think she'll be obviously trying to stop the score, force the turnover. She's maybe talking about when the Cardiff do get the ball back, maybe a set play to run up here to try and get the score, close the margin. But yeah, focus will be first and foremost on the defence.
And I suppose on the flip there, what's Coach Handy? What would she be saying to her team?
I think she would be saying more of the same. We want to finish this half out strong and then carry that into the next half. So whatever she's asking them to run tactically, she'll be asking them to focus on the detail and try and execute as much as possible. She's probably having a bit of chat about what Cardiff are doing on that right hand side and how they're having so much success in the back doors and the cuts. Is it a breakdown in communication? Is it something tactical that Steph Collins has drawn up for her players? And finding a solution to try and take that away.
The foul did actually come up there against, I think, Irene against Fisher. So those of us to basketball, Lewis checking in for Domingy obviously has gone off injured, so she'll be the one to shoot the free throws. Just in case anyone's like, how on earth is she just, what's happened there? And does make it count. Lewis, again, not necessarily someone who's a big scorer, but a massive part of that team out there.
Definitely. She brings a lot on the floor with her communication, with her leadership, and her relentless defence. I mean, you see the pressure she's been putting on Flogger today, and Flogger will be sick of the sight of her by the end of the game.
She does find a way through, though, and pulls the call, which will be on the floor, so it'll be an out of bounds. Gladiators just on their second foul.
Just gets Lewis on the crossover there.
And that's what the good guards like herself do, isn't it? They find that space and they really attack it hard.
That's it. You can tell she's patient with the ball as well, just waiting for her opportunity. Oh, and unfortunately there catches the ball on the halfway line and forces the turnover.
It's another one of those inches, isn't it?
Yep.
Half court, half inch to the right. She'd have been absolutely fine there. Yep. But that comes from the pressure of the Gladiators' defence, wasn't it? Forcing it into the backcourt.
Yeah, pushing the catch just that little inch higher.
10 on the shot, round to Kerr. She
it
pulls the
fly?
trigger and
Lovely.
she's successful with it. Looks like Cardiff going to run it out for the last shot of the game. Balls of Flogger under pressure from Stupart. Ball out to Kadiri. Finds Parkin on that baseline. One on the shot. Are they going to get it away? And they don't. Gladiators run out that half. 25 to 13, taking it out to a 61 to 28 lead for your Caledonia Gladiators. They'll be happy with that.
Yeah, I think they will be happy with that, and then looking to build on their lead going forward.
They will indeed, and Erin will head courtside and catch up, I'm sure, with assistant coach Max Hurst. But I imagine Coach Handy down there, as she is looking at her board, will be pleased with what she's seen out there. But as we've talked about, Cardiff having success on that right-hand side underneath the hoop. Doing some good work, getting the ball inside. When Cardiff are moving the ball, that's where they seem to be getting their nice looks. They're having success. Flogger has had some nice looks from behind the arc and made them count. Stayed on that 10 points. Parkin, quick off the bench, just under 2 minutes of play, but got her 2 points. Kadiri has been useful, a big facilitator out there, moving the ball and just being in the right place at right times. Fisher as well, coming off the bench, 4 points, 3 rebounds for her. However, over on the Gladiator side, Warren, we saw how quickly she went off this afternoon. She was pulling up from behind the arc, she was making it go on the inside. She's currently sitting on 14. Doherty as well off the bench, 10 personal for her today. So a little bit less over in that second quarter, but still doing great work out there. And Erin is courtside with assistant coach Max Hurst, and I'll hand you over to them.
And we're back with Max on the court after the first half. Max, that was a great first half. Gladiators really pushing the ball out there and keeping the tempo up. What are you looking to do in the second half in order to push that lead?
Yeah, exactly. We think we want to keep up the tempo and some defensive intensity, keep that going. I think we got a little sloppy there in the second, so ramp up the pressure. So.
Excellent. Okay, thank you for your time.
Perfect, thank you. Good one. It's done now.
and welcome back to the amphitheatre here at PlaySport, where the Caledonia Gladiators lead the Cardiff Met Archers 64-28. What did you make of that first half, Erin?
I think it was a good first half. Interesting game. Both teams trying to play at a high tempo. Gladiators a bit more successful in the break and under the basket. Cardiff finding success, down the lane, the backdoor cuts, off that kind of right wing in the pick and roll. Interesting first half. Gladiators obviously got the better of the half, and let's see what adjustments both coaches have made into the second half.
And I think, that's coaches' bread and butter, isn't it? It's how to adjust their team. You can scout as much as you want, you can think a team's going to be a certain way, but like we see for the Gladiators today, obviously McIntosh still coming back from injury, Okadowa picking up an injury in training yesterday, so if you'd prep for things like that and then those players aren't on the floor or vice versa, so I guess it's been about to be adaptable, isn't it? And for coaches in the moment to be like, okay, who's working where? Doherty's had a great start to her game today. I'd mentioned that just at the close of the half, racking in the points. So maybe somebody you'd look to go to more so today as maybe not in the Hatters game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, everyone goes into things with a game plan, but you've got to be ready to adapt and change as the game unfolds in front of you. And today I think we've had a few nice surprises and different players stepping up, the team sharing the ball, different people showcasing their talents, and you want to see more of that and build on it. So yeah, interesting to see what happens in the second half.
And Gladiators are going to start back with Hodges, Fitzpatrick, Masowicz, Lewis, and just hiding behind there would be Warren from our angle. Hodges on a double-double watch, but most times she is anyway. She's currently sitting on 10 and 6. 9 and 6 apologies at the moment, and Lewis herself coming up with those 5 assists, but when you've put in 64 in the first half, assists are going to be more a thing that are out there. For Cardiff, you're looking at Bailey, Scharf, Fisher's earned herself a spot in that sort of starting of the third, and Hianef. Strong fives from both sides. Second quarter, Cardiff more consistent, maybe at 15 points in the first, 13 in the second, but they managed to bring Gladiators down to 28 in that second quarter. So they'll be looking to build up from that. It's going to be their ball to start with. They'll be looking to get that bucket through the hoop early. Flogger, 10 points herself in that opening half. She's going to take the ball. Just that one little dribble's picked it up. Scharf, the experienced Hodges against her. Got her back there, but does get the shot off. Unfortunately not to come away with it, and it was kept in nicely by Bailey. Just neither of our Archers' teammates realising the ball was still in their hands. Ball with Warren. ENF putting her under some pressure. Fisher again matching up there with Masowicz. Saw her do a good job in the post earlier. Oh, good hands in the lane there. Flogger keeps it for the Archers.
And that there.
Exactly what I was just about to say. Fisher is a bit undersized, especially with the length of Masowicz. You want to be putting that into post lower there, don't you? You want maybe off a bounce pass.
Yeah, the guard saw the pass. It's the angle of the pass and the timing of the pass, and giving your big guy a chance under there to set their feet and get their hands ready to catch the ball. Timing is just off a bit, hence the ball went out of bounds.
Warren down this right side where Cardiff had so much success, and Masowicz herself has success. Off the little put inside from Fitzpatrick there. Scharf. Behind the arc, no good. Again, Gladiators coming up with that ball. Dishes to Lewis. Gladiators moving the ball well, gives some space for Hodges on the right. And you just think that's that part of the court. Maybe Cardiff from that left side outside the arc where the Gladiators had success. Maybe they'll get hot from there.
Yep.
And that was a nice work there by Scharf. Did some really good work. Got Hodges in front of her. Maybe just had to hold her on the pin, whereas I think she's tried to then make too much space that the ball's been fired over the top.
Yeah, released a little early there, but what is nice to see is the Archers are looking for their teammates and they're making space, so you would just hope that that connection comes.
And Cardiff players do tend to come into their team a little bit later into season, so that's something that you'll expect if they're back up here again, or when Gladiators go down there. You'd expect to see improvement as Fitzpatrick gets the bucket.
Yep. I think Cardiff had just went into a bit of a zone press in the full court there. Gladiator was able to exploit the space in the back for an easy layup.
The head coach Steph Collins down there, former GB teammate of yours, as is head coach Chantel Handy, so nice little triangle there as well with two former teammates, so you'll have equal backing of both. But what was it like playing with Collins? She was obviously a GB stalwart and legend herself.
It was great fun to play with Steph. I mean, she's a warrior on the court. She's like fiercely competitive, as is Chantel, both of them. So it was always good fun. You didn't want to be in the opposite, like if we were in training or whatever, we didn't want to be in the opposite team from them, because it's win at all costs. I can be a little bit like that myself, so it's good.
I was about to say it, and I'm pretty sure we've gone head to head, and that ponytail of yours, I swear I've still got whiplash from being smacked across the face with that thing.
I can only
As I probably chased you up the court because I was too slow. But
I
anyway.
can only apologise about it. I can't even deny it because it was a bit of a secret one.
A bit. I don't think it was a secret. I think everybody absolutely knew that you put it in a pleat because it was like a wrecking ball coming if you whipped your head round. But anyway, we digress. Collins, absolute competitor. Handy, absolute competitor. And you can see them trying to put that into their own teams and the way they play. You've mentioned it so many times with Cardiff and Gladiators. How important is that visibility, having head coaches as females in a women's league like this?
It's really important. I mean, if you can see it, you can do it, and I think that's what Steph and Shan are demonstrating to a lot of younger people or anybody that has aspirations to be a great player or a great coach. Like day after day, they're putting a great example out there and leading these professional teams at this national and international level.
Sharp looking to find some space. Warren getting the hands in there. Ianeth on the double team on the baseline. Trying to hit it off Maswich. Smart play, but just doesn't get it to come off. Lewis looking for a 6th assist, but Fisher getting a nice touch there and doing enough to put it back in Archer's hands.
Again, Archers with the unrelenting effort to get back there on defence, and again it's paid off and they come up with the ball.
And I always say a game of basketball is never over, but you would think potentially the win is going to go Gladiators' way, but Archers will be out there trying to minimise that win, as Sharf does that herself, to as low a point as possible.
Yep. The minute you get complacent with a team like Cardiff, they totally take advantage of it, so Gladiators need to stay sharp here and continue doing what they're doing, otherwise they could find themselves in choppy waters.
And as people chip away, they can really chip in, can't they? Even though it is a 40-point lead at the moment, you know, you get that down to 30, and mentally you get it down to 20, and that's where you just build from, don't you?
Yep, and basketball's a funny game, it can change in an instant.
You'll never one ponytail whip away. Warren though making sure she keeps scoreboard ticking over there for the Gladiators, but again, Flogger relentless, making sure she gets the ball up.
Cut.
I was going to give the big and one call there, but referee said foul before shot was released.
Yep, Gaines did well there to get the ball off. I thought the foul call was actually a bit late. There was a lot of hands in there early.
Maybe just holding her hand a little bit there, you hope. No sort of lasting effect. Something can shake off. Dominique checking back in, which is good to see, is recovered from earlier on in the game where she went down a little heavier than you would like to as a player.
Yeah, good to see her back on the floor.
Flogger finds herself some space, and she has a really nice shot from out there, doesn't she, when she pulls the trigger?
Yeah, it looked good in the air, just unfortunate it didn't sink.
And that's really nice sort of defensive work by Archers. Few plays in a row now down at that end, isn't it? Just getting touches or making things challenging for the Gladiators.
Yeah, that's it. They're getting in the passing lanes, they're getting in the way of the body and of the ball, making things a bit more difficult, and you can see it's making the effort, making an impact on passes connecting. They're coming up with the ball and getting that possession.
Ianeth looking to create for herself. It's going to come off her knee though, and it's going to be a Gladiators ball. I think she's looking for the call there though. And I'm glad it's not me that has to make those decisions down there.
Yeah.
And I'm liking this matchup between Domenge and Hieneth out there at the moment. Neither of them giving anything easy. Picked by Maswich, who look to roll inside and get the seal. But Domenge keeps it alive. Big time block, but foul called.
Interesting to see who the foul goes on here.
I think he was double checking himself.
Yep.
It's going on against Hieneth, I think. That pushes her on to 3 in this third quarter. Game of basketball is very interesting for fouls, isn't it? Because if that third had been picked up 5 minutes ago, you're like, that's tight. Whereas picking it up now, you're like, okay, just be smart for the next few minutes.
Yeah, and I think that's the call that Steph's going to make, is just make the player aware of their foul position and then let them manage it on their own.
And players themselves tend to be aware of that, isn't it? Especially the higher you go, that's where you have to have so much more knowledge of the game, isn't it? And understanding and the IQ, isn't it? To know these things.
Yeah, awareness and time.
Oh, it was a nice little cut across the top, but Rob comes away with it on the fast break. And gets that and one, and Flogger, you just feel could have kept the hands out there, run across her and don't make the contact, but hope you put her off enough.
Yeah, make it a little bit more difficult.
That pushes her onto her second. And Rob, something that I'd say is her bread and butter since watching her in her Pride days, coming through the ranks, playing up with GB at the seniors, Eurobasket, she likes that little steal, that sort of in the lane, the opposite side.
Yeah, Rob's very good at being in the passing lanes and reading the passing lanes, especially when the ball's being swung from one cross court to the other. She's very good at getting high in that lane and getting the steal for the wide open layup.
And she gets it to drop. Flogger taking some control against McGee. Found the space. Bailey herself into the paint. Little floating jumper. Saw that in that first half and she had success with it, but this time it's Doherty that comes away, and there goes Rob again. Cross court. Nice find. That was a bit of a QB pass there.
Tierra down low. Double teamed. Passes out. And for Ella at the top of the key. Nice finish.
And that shows experience, doesn't it? Knowing when you're that deep, the temptation, I think, especially as a less experienced player, is just to go up.
Yep.
But actually, you've got two of them on you. They're making it not easy, so they're making and giving up that sort of further out shot. Doherty does nail that, but you can see what Cardiff's doing there with the defence. They're taking away the biggest risk, which is in there under the hoop. But smart play by Hodges to identify her teammate open.
Definitely. Good patience, good identification.
Ball was sharp, out to Bailey. Saw her go with that running floater in the last play, but nice dive inside. But Domenge gets herself there.
Finds a way through, but unlucky off the glass.
And look at this effort from Scharf. Was the one to come up with a bucket, but it's also the one back there chasing down Doherty with the ball.
A tilt call for the screen.
Oh, nice little find.
Nice late pass to Hodges.
And that came from the space in there, didn't it? And you saw how the Gladiators pulled themselves out to find their space as the foul's going to come up against McGee there on that baseline.
I think she was just a wee bit overzealous there on the baseline.
And that comes from coaches who want intensity. So you're making sure there is nothing easy out there.
Yep. Yep.
Just over halfway through this third quarter is Hieneth. Nice little dish. Bailey had the 3 ball, gives it up to go inside, and great decision because she strings it.
Yeah, nice jumper from the elbow.
Domenge down. There's that pick and roll that they love so much. Extra little find to Doherty. 2 on her.
Cardiff doing well to get their hands in the passing lanes again, come up with the ball.
And it looks like Collins has definitely talked about that inside presence of the Gladiators, hasn't she? And they're finding ways to now not give anything easy in there.
You can see that they're trying to smother the low block, and I think they've done a really good job of that. Not so good there on the break, and we have a player down on the baseline.
And again, you just really hope it's a shoelace sort of tighter situation and you've just got more of a fright than it actually being any sort of injury for Kadiri there. I was saying at the half, when you were down with assistant coach Hurst, she's been doing sort of the quiet things and getting things done. She's been a facilitator, you know, she's not necessarily stuffing the stat sheet, but she is a really good presence for Cardiff out there on the floor, isn't she?
Yeah, I would really agree with that. She's doing all the small things well, and that's you need players like that on your team who are going to rebound, who are going to run hard, who are going to make it difficult for the offence. Definitely an asset for the Archers.
And she does look like she's going to be able to play it off, but just a little miscommunication there on that inbound.
Yep, can happen so easily. I've been there myself. Unfortunate results on the Gladiators getting possession again. It's another chance to score.
Kenneth almost getting the touch there. There's a left lane there for Rob, but Doherty cuts round, finds McGee outside the arc. Just comes up short, but gets it on rebound, and it does mean day with the Gladiators. It's another 10 on the shot. Domingue with that low crossover. McGee sails the shot. A little 3-second call coming up there against the Gladiators, although the ball was kept in bounds, although we were down to 0.6 by the time the whistle because there wasn't connection made with the hoop.
Yep.
But Archers come away with the ball, and that's what you want. You want to make sure the opposition don't score, and they've managed that on that occasion. DNF, nice find to Lamont. Lamont, another player, not being able to see for a while. She did pick up that third foul. Rob's out and running, and McGee gets the easy bucket there. Kenneth maybe just slowing it down a little there for the Archers, letting Lamont get a position. Lamont opening up the lane there. Nice use of the body. I like smart play like that. It's unseen on the stat sheet. Robin to Domingue. Doherty comes round. Second cut there. 7 on the shot. Domingue whipped it to McGee. McGee for 3. Strings it.
Good patience there with McGee, waiting in the space on the corner. Had her feet set, ready to shoot.
Rhythm's so important, isn't it?
Definitely.
Lamont goes down the middle, comes up against Rob though, but I thought they just kept it in there, the Archers off Gladiators' ball, but it will go.
Again, you can't fault the effort, but Gladiators come up with the ball there.
Flogger checking in for Hannah. Has done a great work out there under the pressure she's been under, and also applying the pressure on the Gladiators guards.
She really has. She's not giving them anything easy. Oh, Annie off the mark there.
Some might say a pass.
Yep.
Keeps her stats rolling with the O boards, and then she puts it in.
Yep. Oh, out the steal.
She is not messing around today, is she? Neither is Doherty. Nice pairing out there. Sharp looking for Flogger. Flogger herself last year with her Parkside Rangers team hitting the game-winning shot against the #1 seed.
Oh wow.
So she can be a big-time baller out there. McGee coming up with it, as you can see. Gladiators racing down the floor, followed by the Archers. Again, Archers doing nice to stop the transition play there. Tough pass inside, but Hodges does come away with it, makes it good. And that's what you can exploit when you've got that sort of mismatch of height, whereas if you've got a taller player in there, that's not happening, is it?
No, no. Tierra does so well to make the catch and then use her body to get right position under the basket.
Lamont with it outside, dumps it off. Bailey, Gladiator switching there, lets Kerr come up with it.
A lot of deflections here. Cardiff up with the ball again.
I think Kerr's hand got tied up there as Sharf goes. Ball's with McGee. And Hodges, you just know that pick's coming every time, don't you, at the top?
Yep.
Warren with the ball. Doherty having lots of success across that free throw line there. Finding our teammate Hodges. Got 2 on her. Sharp says, I'm not giving you anything easy. And that's what we call a hard foul in basketball, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Maybe a little bit of frustration in there. Hodges has shot, got her own rebound, shooting again, so try and stop her at all costs. But yeah, Gladiators having really a lot of success along that free throw line and making the triangles with the low post player. It'd be interesting if that was a game plan from the start or something that's kind of unfolded as the game's progressed.
3 Scottish players checking out. 2 Scottish players checking in, so nice to see a Gladiators roster with that Scottish talent on it.
Yeah, always rooting for the Scots. Especially
Once St Andrews Day, had my Can Iron Brew Extra beforehand. Other brands are available. Imagine I was popular enough to actually get money for things like that. Influencer deals.
Never say never.
I mean, I've definitely said never. Ball with Flogger. 9 on the shot. Cardiff. Lemon, really nice hard cut to basket. Just overcooks it. Masowicz out to Stupart. And do you know what? Youngster there, don't do anything wrong. I think Masowicz was looking for that big logo-esque 3 there from Stupart, but
yeah,
kept the ball. And sometimes the important thing is not to lose the ball, isn't it?
Yep, that's it.
Taking us to the end of that third quarter, Caledonia with 96 to the Archers 32. That quarter there, Gladiators really stepped up their intensity and defence, haven't they? They've held the Archers to the floor, but also Archers, long trip up from Wales. You know, there's going to be some legs out there that are feeling pretty tired. Players, Bailey, 28 minutes out there. Sharf, 26 minutes out of 30. You know, that's going to start to have an impact as well, isn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, you're playing 5-6 players here after that journey, and against Gladiators' deep bench. I guess this quarter's to be expected, and there is only so much gas in the tank, and when the Gladiators keep throwing fresh legs at you, it's a tough gig to try and keep up.
I know we've definitely been in games when you're like, your person you're marking's going off, and then you see who the replacement is, you're like, give me a break.
Yeah, can be a bit relentless, but you know, fair play to Cardiff. Again, they've got that winning mentality where they don't give up, they don't really see it like that, they just think the next play, you can see that in all the effort they give and the success that they get from making those effort plays, coming up with the ball. Yeah, maybe the shots aren't falling, but they're still doing a lot of nice things out there, getting in the passing lanes, going back door for each other and making good connections. So you just want to see more of that in the fourth.
And like we say, Cardiff are a team that we know are going to grow as the season goes on. You know, bringing players slightly later, whereas we know this Gladiators team's been together since August, September time. So they are going to be a little bit more gelled and put together. But you can see over there, the Archers, they've got what it takes to be a good team. It's just they're going to start to piece it together play by play, and I think they'll start with that in the fourth quarter, won't they?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, a lot of the Cardiff players are really young. You've got, I think, at least 3 players coming off they're in their rookie season. So you just build on that youth. The great thing about younger players is they've got an abundance of energy and they're very keen to learn. So that's just a perfect recipe for building success throughout the season. So I'd say Cardiff are going to be a team to watch as you get to that kind of playoff time.
Ball found out to Stupart. Doesn't
there,
go.
but come back up with the ball.
Takes a pick. Gets herself to the hoop. Lovely little finish. Right hand on the left hand side. And Stupart opens up her SLBW points.
That was excellent by Kiva there, just to keep her cool and find the gap down the floor through the defence and finish.
And Fitzpatrick there, Fisher at the other end, getting herself to the hoop and going to get herself the line up for what will only be Cardiff's third and fourth free throw of this game.
I think the Gladiators have done well to stay in front of the ball and make the Archers take tough shots.
And on other days, those shots will fall.
Yeah,
and teams like your Sheffields, Essex this season, who are having a great season, they're making them fall, and that's where you've got to make sure to put as much pressure on it as possible.
Yep, that's it.
Essex obviously taking the win yesterday against Oakland's Wolves. Was that one that you had in your scorecard? 92-78 there.
Yeah, interesting result. I think this year the whole league is interesting. You know, we've beat Sheffield. Sheffield were undefeated until then. Oakland's Essex. And then also Essex being beat by Newcastle, so I think it's wide open at the top.
It's my favourite sort of league. I love when you can't call it either way.
Yeah, I would agree.
That's what makes sports so good, isn't it?
Yep, that's it. It's interesting basketball.
Especially as a neutral, not as a player.
Yeah, and
it'd be nice to rock up to some games, but you can never rock up to a game thinking you're going to win.
No, that's it. Always got to be ready to play.
7 on the shot clock as Lewis goes down.
Oh, offensive.
And I think that's going to come up against Masiewicz. I think the way she's discussing it there.
Yeah.
And Masiewicz, her 3rd foul of the game. Oh. Flogger into Lamont at high post. She pulls.
No good.
She's just a bit frustrated with that. Stupart out and running.
Thought Annie might. Oh, keeper takes it through in the corner. Unlucky there. I thought Warren could maybe have passed to her earlier in the break, but maybe saw the defence closing in.
Fisher going hard to hoop.
Oh,
Gets herself the call. Been impressed with her this afternoon.
Yeah. Again, she's doing all the right things. Maybe not getting the end result, but you can see that she's seeing the right things on the floor and she's taking her chances. So what more could you ask?
As she goes to the line for potentially her 6th and 7th point of the game, she is currently averaging 7 points, 3.5 rebounds. You know, so put in some good numbers, especially when we've talked about this before, and we were talking about before the game, it's easy to go out and score, 20, 30 points when you're winning by 60, but how many points do you score when it's a tough game?
Yep.
And not even that, how many rebounds, how much hustle do you put in, that's the people coaches want on their team, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. It's the old adage, what do you do when no one's watching? And those are the moments that count. Oh, nice defence there by Warren. Taking on Flogger in the break. And finishes.
And Warren's got hops out there. We've seen it in previous games, just the way she's able to control her body, her agility, and her, the way she's so fluid going to the hoop there. I just was curious what she might do.
Yeah, she's very athletic, very dynamic, but she's got excellent control over her body, and her finish around the rim is very nice. It makes her very difficult to guard.
That does push Caledonia over into the 100-point mark with Archers at 33. We've still got plenty of this ball game to be played. 8 more minutes. And we can maybe start looking at your MVP, Erin. Who do you think has really impressed you this afternoon out there?
It's a tough call today because I think a number of players have stepped up, but I've been particularly impressed by Ella Doherty. A player that's maybe went under the radar to this point in the season, but she's came on today and she's had an excellent impact. She's looking to score, she's getting into space, she's finding her teammates, and I think all round a great performance from her today. Annie Warren, Tiara Hodges, they're doing what they do on a daily basis. Giving you
do they need to work harder now to impress you then? They need to.
I think so, they've set the bar really high, so is that almost now just an expectation, but I'm saying that half in jest, I don't take that for granted. I know that's difficult to come out and do that day after day, but yeah, I think there's a number of people on the team today that you can say great performance, but Ella in particular stood out so far.
And that's why I'm glad you're choosing today. Usually it's me and I feel a lot of pressure when I have to choose.
It is a lot of pressure.
It's like trying to, it's tough.
Before you mentioned, I was actually getting a bit anxious about it, but I'm glad we've covered it a little bit.
How life has changed since you were a player, I'm sure. Picking someone.
No half.
Cardiff getting us back underway in this 4th quarter. Calls a defence, ringing out through the stadium, and there's that little backdoor dive, and they do come up and just not getting the lucky roll there, which is unfortunate. But Lamont battling hard.
And draws the foul. She done excellent there just to get possession of the ball and get up for that shot to draw the foul.
And that's gritty, and that's staying with the play, and that's not giving up.
Yep. And rewarded with the free throw, that's what it's all about.
Tried the line for a pair from the bonus stripe. 63% going into today. Unfortunate on that one, and I think referees just thought they were going for a shirt tuck, but I don't know if it's in
Maybe
nails or
someone's
blood.
bleeding or something.
Yeah. Been there a couple of times trying to hide it.
Yeah.
So you're meant to go off the floor, especially in a tight game. That is not why you want to go off the floor, especially if it's because someone else's nails are too long.
Exactly.
Makes no mistake, gets that one to go. And again, turns the scoreboard over for the Archers. Both their points coming from the charity stripe this quarter. A little foot touch there called.
Yeah, a little bit erratic there. McGee loses kind of track of the ball. Cardiff come up with possession.
Again, Archers coming up with the ball. Moving the ball. Just getting called for it, and they do like this right hand side, don't they?
They do, yeah, but just get caught in a jam there, ran out of space and stepped out of bounds.
Ball in Lauren's hands. Oh, just a little bit low, you'd think there for Masowicz, but and
Yeah,
Archers do get to take it back.
good intentions, but just a little bit low on the pass.
And obviously very early into the season in terms of championship games, and teams will still be gelling, and we've talked about players when they come in at different points in the season. And do you think that's one of the most important things, is how quickly you can get a team to gel, whether that's as a teammate or is that as a coach?
Yeah, it is important, but it's something you can't force. It needs to build naturally over time. And with the nature of the sport, it kind of usually does without having to try too hard. I guess in the early stages, you're just trying to see, have I got the dynamics right? Have I got the fit right? Am I asking players to do things that they're comfortable doing, that they're the best at? Am I bringing the best out in them? And as the team, am I, as the team, in the best place to keep building and performing? But in the early days, I guess it's just constantly checking on that. Matt makes a nice decision there to drive in for the pull-up too.
This season, you know, Domingé herself at the end of last season was averaging just under 10 points a game, 2 rebounds, and she's continued by starting these 3 games with 2 points, but also averaging 19 points. Do you think we're going to see a more offensive-minded Domingé this season?
Well, it'll be interesting to see how her role evolves. Coming off the bench, I think it's difficult to be such a scoring threat if you're also expected to be the point guard and run the team. But Matt's the type of player where you ask her to do a job and that's the job she's going to do for you. So I guess it will just be the relationship that she develops with Shan and how the role unfolds and what the team needs. You can see that she has the ability to score, she's talented, but she also is a great leader on the floor as well. So I guess it's finding a balance between those two things. I mean, in the trophy final last year, her scoring ability was awesome, and it was a massive contribution, a massive factor in why we won that game. So I think it'll be interesting to see how her role unfolds as the season progresses.
Ball does stay with Archers with 14 on the clock after a little off the foot violation. Nice dump inside and just overcooks it on that finish, and they'd done everything right there. They deserved the ball to go
They
through
really
the hoop.
did, and you want to see the ball going through the hoop there because it was a lovely pass, lovely back door, and just very unfortunate on the finish.
And GB men currently in action against Iceland. They're leaving 43-35 at the half. And once this is finished, I'm sure people can go and watch that, but not before.
Yep.
Fitzpatrick pulls
Puts
from
up the
deep.
3, unlucky.
Sharf taking on those ball handling duties again. Flogger looks for the lane, finds it, gets it to go. And Archers again just found some ways to slow down the Gladiators scoring and put up a couple of points himself. Rob all the way.
Oh, Hannah does well there to find Hodges underneath.
Was the ball on the floor necessary there?
No, maybe she was off
From
balance.
Hodges, obviously not.
Needed a balance bounce.
Oh, never heard of a balance bounce. That's two things I've learned this year: a patient whistle and a balance bounce.
Yeah, don't
or
think,
bounce balance.
I don't think many coaches would promote that.
Ball with Flogger to Bailey. Captain looking to get something going. And Cardiff fall foul to the 24-second violation there.
Yeah, Domingue just did well to stay in front of the ball and close down the lane.
Just under half of this quarter left. And there we go, there's the Hodges, but screen that was coming. Domingue goes behind it though. Rob.
Does well to hold on to the ball. Finds Ella on the perimeter, pulls up for two. Nice.
You know she's feeling it today, and that's exactly the sort of shot. That's a tricky shot, isn't it, from that angle?
Yeah, it is, and catching it on the bounce and making that decision in the moment. You're kind of under pressure, you're running into the defence, but she did well to stay composed there and sink the two.
16 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists today for Doherty.
Nice tip on the ball. She got the block there. Forces possession. And again, Limon with the hustle play, just getting the fingertips on that to force it out of bounds and slow the Gladiators down.
Lewis on the floor, obviously former player at Archers as well.
Yeah.
Lots of little links out there on the
Becomes
floor.
a very small world. I think Matt will be annoyed not got the foul there, but Archers on the break.
What's Flogger going to do with it? She goes for a little stop and pop. And she's someone who, again, has found plenty of ways just to get herself scoring, whether behind the arc, getting inside, little stop and pop there, and Hodges crossing the baseline on the out of bounds, so it's going to end up with an Archers. No, it's not, Erin. That was an Archers ball. Apologies. I thought that's what they were calling, but I think it was to do with the clock. So. I think Jimenez was maybe with me on that one. Domingue, big space, opens up as she toes the line and gets it to go. Gladiators, obviously, as we mentioned previously, will be away to Essex in that trophy. Essex obviously taking a win earlier in the season against the Gladiators, so all to play for as Rob gives that ball over the top to Hodges. Little right hand lay in there. Timeout's going to come up, and it's going to be Coach Steph Collins calling it with just over 3 minutes to go. Erin, from this game, what do you think have been your key takeaways?
I think Gladiators have done well to work together, look for each other on offence, to really push the ball in transition and have easy scores up the floor. And I think they need to carry that into the Essex game. High tempo, looking to score fast and looking for each other in the offence.
Annie Warren currently leading all scorers with 20 points. Flogger leading for the Cardiff Archers with 14, and Warren also backing that up with 3 rebounds, 3 assists, with an efficiency of 20. But Ella Doherty, like you mentioned earlier, if you're sticking with her for your MVP, she's got 16 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists and a steal, giving her a 23 index out there in just under 16 minutes of play. So you sticking or you twisting?
I think I'm sticking. I mean, all round I think Ella's been a standout today. Been really impressed with her performance. You know, she's came off the bench and she's engaged, she's making an impact as soon as she's on the floor, and I think that's great to see.
And probably pleasingly for head coach Handy down there, all our players that have hit the floor have got themselves on the score sheet. How important is that for confidence and also just for being a threat on the floor?
Definitely, being a threat is a major thing, and then just for team morale, it's great. Everybody wants to have everyone involved, and in a game like this, everyone really should be on the scoreboard. Yeah, just makes for happy faces at the end of the game.
And similarly, Cardiff have managed the exact same, and you would argue they've had the tougher part of the job today, and for everyone to get themselves on the score sheet shows they're playing fearless out there and everyone's happy to take responsibility, and sometimes that can be lacking in players.
Yeah, definitely. I think Cardiff have done really well today. You can tell that they're like a teamy team. They look for each other on the floor. They make the right passes, like I said earlier, just unfortunate, a bit unlucky around the basket, but they're doing a lot of nice things out there.
6 on the shot is a little pick and roll, but Flogger almost picks it off.
Putting hand
Clock's
under
counting
pressure
down.
here. Kiva heaves it up but falls short.
Masovic going for the little, almost like a reverse set there.
Yeah. I think she was very aware of the limited time, just trying to throw it up there.
Seen it St Andrews Day, and I'll stick with the vibe of 4 Scottish players out there on the floor with Masovic in at the 5. Masovic looking to get her hand in the lane, opens up though for Lemon. Gets on put back. Nice work there, and keeps
comes
it.
up with it for the 3rd time. Deserves that one as it sinks, but we have a McGee on the floor under the basket.
I think it was maybe in the melee of getting the rebound, its elbows, hasn't there?
Yeah.
It's maybe taking one little knock to the face, but again, hopefully nothing too serious out there. And overall, it's been quite the game of basketball today, hasn't it? It's been high tempo. There's been a lot of good stuff going on, especially at that sort of guard position, hasn't there? And just the way I think Gladiators have been able to move the ball a little bit better. They've been able to pass it round, and that's kind of shown on the assist statistics. We talked about it earlier in the game where Cardiff hadn't managed to get any, but they've now pushed themselves out into double figures. They're sitting at 10 assists. Gladiators though 35. Moving the ball, but moving the ball is always easier, isn't it, when you're up and when you're scoring? That's where confidence comes from.
Yeah, definitely, and I think, like you said, after you make your first layup and kind of set up the nerves of the team and the scores kind of keep flowing, and we've seen that today, the way the Gladiators have shared the ball and being patient and making the right decisions. You know, Cardiff have adjusted. They saw that we were having great success from the low block. They tried to double team the low block, but Hodges and Masovic down there taking the time to have a feel for what's around them and look for their open teammate. Same on the other end with Cardiff. They identified where they're having success. They're doing a lot of pick and rolls in the back doors and trying to keep going to that and exploiting the areas where they've had success.
And Gladiators, you know, shooting 47% from behind the arc. I mean, that's going to be tough for any team to come up against if the other team are scoring almost 50% from behind the arc, as Stupart looks to add to that. Just undercooks it a little there.
Yep, just a little bit off the mark, but yeah, it's always tough to guard when you've got multiple threats from the outside as well as people under the basket. It's a good position for the Gladiators to be in, but yeah, like you said, tough for any defence to guard.
But again, Archers, like you say, they've done the right thing. You're always going to want to take away that inside threat, aren't you, before and give up the outside if you need to. But Gladiators have been able to exploit that today's Flogger herself, who has herself had a great afternoon today, hasn't she?
She has, and she's handled a lot of the pressure very well. I mean, the Gladiators have been relentless with their full court press. Well, that is a tough screen, but nothing called there. You'd have hoped one of her teammates would have said something to let her know.
And you're so right off that, Erin. I think as fans, as people watching at home, coaching staff, whatever, people get so angry at that sort of backdoor hit, can't they? But at the end of the day, it comes down to your teammates telling you about it.
Yep, 100%. That's all in the communication.
And that is not a pleasant one to take. I can testify to that.
Yep.
You can just see it's a bit argy-bargy out there.
Yeah, getting a bit.
But Doherty says,
round
I'll
off
take
the
the ball
screen. Yep,
and I'll do what I've been doing.
Take the air out of the fight.
And sometimes that's just what you have to do, isn't it? You just have to go, okay, control the controllables, and that is the ball's in my hand, what can I do with it?
Yep, exactly.
Scharf herself gets busy on the inside.
Again, unfortunate around the rim, and Gladiators come up with the ball. Anna pushing the break. I'm going to go all the way. Oh, and she finds Ella underneath for the easy two. Again, an excellent decision. Good push by Rob.
And good unselfish basketball again. So pleasing to see.
Yeah, it's really enjoyable to watch when that's the way the team's playing.
As we move into the last 45 seconds of this game with 10 on the shot clock for Cardiff, who are playing out deep, but Masovic comes up with it. Draws the foul there from Bailey. But Bailey, nice work getting across. Again, not giving up, not giving anything easy. And it would have been so easy, wouldn't it, for Cardiff to have down tools. But that is the last thing they have done. They are hustling every play.
Yeah, 40 seconds on the clock and she's still putting her body on the line. Again, it just testifies to this team's mentality.
So, ball in Dom NJ's hand. High pick. Dishes it out to Stupart.
In the corner, can she make it? Unlucky, but
Dom
Dom
NJ
comes up with the ball.
Gladiators will get the reset.
14
14-second differential there, but massive. You feel like that has been ready to be called.
Yes, it was a wee bit unnecessary there, but maybe letting her frustrations get the better of herself.
That'll push her on to 4 fouls, and that's also the Gladiators into team fouls. So Cardiff will find themselves at the line if they do get fouled again. Dom and J though, nothing easy. There's that
the pressure on.
Battle. 12 on the shot. You'd imagine Cardiff are going to look to maintain possession and get that last shot of the game. Swiss Sharp. Little fake there to Bailey. And gets it to go.
Good patience then again by Sharp.
And we have end of ball game here at the amphitheatre in East Kilbride. Your Caledonia Gladiators running out 114-42. Winners against the Cardiff Met Archers. Erin, final thoughts?
Great game. I thought it was a good performance by both. Gladiators did well to share the ball, find solutions. Cardiff, can't fault their efforts today. Again, unrelenting. So all round a really enjoyable game.
I will let you go free and go grab your MVP down courtside.
Go.
And as Erin said, both teams showing some good things out there. Cardiff, they'll have plenty to think about on that bus journey back home and what they can do differently next time. They will be going on another away trip next week to the Newcastle Eagles, and then they're away again to the Oaklands Wolves. So a run of away games for the Cardiff Archers. Not easy scheduling or programming there for them, but I am sure we will continue to see them grow as a team, and I'm excited to see what they bring over their next few games. As you mentioned before, Gladiators got that trophy game. They'll be looking to build on today's win and be looking to overturn that loss last time they played down in Essex. And then we'll be back for a double header here just before Christmas on the 21st of December, where both your Gladiators men's and women's team will take on those Newcastle Eagles. Always a great rivalry between the teams, and I very much look forward to calling that one then. So Doherty, that Erin will be speaking to shortly. Great game off the bench from her today, just under 20 minutes, coming away with 20 points, 5 rebounds and 2 assists. And I think Erin's got her there. So I will hand you down courtside to Erin McGarrigan and Ella Doherty, whose teammates seem is just as delighted for her.
I'm with Ella Doherty here. Ella, congratulations, that was a fantastic performance, really enjoyable to watch. What was your thoughts going into today's game, and how did you compare?
Yeah, I mean, we just come play tough every game. It doesn't matter who we play against, we just always fight hard. Stay as a team, stay doing what we do.
I think that really showed on the floor today, and you yourself had a fantastic performance. I mean, you were knocking down threes, pull-up twos, under the basket, you were getting steals and blocks on defence, so really fantastic to see. What's your thoughts for going into the game against Essex?
Yeah, it's a big game. We just got to focus on us, take this energy into this week of practice and just go down there and make a win.
Excellent. Well, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Congrats and good luck for next week.
Thank you.
And that will wrap us up for today. So for myself, Rona Lightbody, Erin McGarrigan and all the team here at the amphitheatre, thanks for checking in, and we will see you next time.